So, how many pair of socks did I knit in 2023? That is a $64,000 question. Let's go and see. So, hi everyone. So, it's Karen and I'm here with a kind of a bonus episode that I've been threatening to do for a little while now. Or at least a week or two, not that long. But what I want to do is do a little tour through all of the socks I knit in 2023. So if you want to take a wild guess how many pair of socks I knit in 2023, put it down in the comment section and see how close you are, or if you hit the nail on the head. So I'm going to go through, I'm just looking at the stack of them sitting on the chair beside me. And the other fair warning is I will be looking at my phone a lot for this episode, or this, I guess you can call it an episode, for this, for lack of a better thing, I don't know what to call it. Anyway, I will be looking at my phone quite a bit for this because there's no way I'm going to remember all the details of the majority of these socks, especially some of the ones from Sock Madness, things like that. So I'm going to kind of do them in categories instead of doing them in full chronological order. And I'll also let you know, I will tell you when I started and finished each pair. So I want to start out first of all, and I will end up having to wear my reading glasses for this because I probably can't read my phone screen quite as well. So I'll either be taking these on and off a lot. I already have a hair. How did I manage that? Where is it? Anyway, so the glasses, there might be a bit of a glare on these. Yeah, there is, but otherwise I won't be able to see what I'm telling you. Let me take a look and see. No, not without squinting. So, first off, I want to go through kind of a quick overview of my 12 Days of Christmas socks. These are 11 pair because December 2023 socks I did not finish until I think the 1st or 2nd of January. But these are the first 11 pair in that collection. So I'm going to quickly go through each of these. The other thing I want to, and mostly just to tell you when I cast them on, when I finish them, what I will also do for every pair of socks that I'm going to show you, it's cold in here, my nose is running, sorry. For every pair of socks that I show you, I'm going to put a picture up here, and for some of them that are not just plain vanilla socks, I will also put the name of the sock, or the pattern name and designer, on this side as well. I will be posting in the drop box below, I will be posting links to every single pattern page. I'll try to do that. That's the aim, is that I will have a list of each of the socks, and they will be in reverse order because that's the way it copied and pasted from Ravelry, and I honestly don't have the gumption to switch the order and do them one by one. Too lazy. So anyway, the first 11 pair of socks I'm going to show you. So there's the first hint. I have made more than 11 pair of socks this year. The first pair of socks the first 11 pair of socks that I knit are from a 12-day advent calendar that I bought from Orlando Fiber Arts a year ago, last a year ago December, and they were 12 50-gram skeins of yarn, one to open up each day during the 12 days of Christmas. I opted to open one new yarn each day. I opened on the first of the 12 months in 2023, and I knit one pair of socks each month. So my January socks, and all of these I knit the same style. They're 2 at a time, toe up. I did a contrasting toe and heel turn and heel flap, and also just a little pop of color at the top, the same idea that Kay Litton introduced me to from the Crazy Sock Lady. And I did all 12 pair the same. The white is just a bare yarn, fingering weight bare yarn, and I did them all the same style. There is the toe increasing in bare, then I do 55 rounds in just 55 rounds plain stockinette, 64 stitches around for my size. Then I have 20 rows is the gusset increasing. Then I switch to the bare yarn, do a heel turn, a slip stitch heel flap, and then as you're doing the heel flap, you reintroduce, or you bring back the gusset stitches. Then I reattach the main color. I would do 25 rounds in the main color. Then I would do a 2x2 ribbing until I completely ran out of the main color. Then I would switch to the bare yarn just to do between 2 and 4 rounds at the top, and then bound off. So the January socks, and now I'll start putting pictures up here and I will show you each pair one at a time. So the January socks, where's my phone? I cast these on December 31st because I wanted to have the cuffs finished so that I could start the main color right away on the 1st of January. So I started these December 31st and completed them January 19th. So again, I used 2.25 millimeter US 1. The vast majority of all these socks are done with 2.25 millimeter needles. If there's anything different later on, I will let you know. Come on, speedy internet connection. My February socks, I cast these on January 31st and finished them on February 20th. This might be a little bit disjointed where I'm going back and forth to get all the details on here from on my phone. My March socks, I cast on March the 2nd and completed them on March 29th. April, I started these March 29th and finished them April 30th. I really like this color. This one was one of my favorites. May, cast them on May 1st, finished May 22nd. June, began these May 26th, finished them June 29th. Any of these where I'm saying that I started them before the 1st of the month, the only part that was started and done ahead of time was the toe. I did not open up a single box of the 12 days before the first of each of the respective months. So if like for this one where it says I cast on the 26th of May, I would have cast on, done the toes, and then waited until the first to open up the box and get started with the actual yarn. July, I cast on July 12th and finished them July 18th. These were knit when I was out visiting my mom this summer, so I had a lot of quiet time just to sit and knit to my heart's content. Where are my August socks? There they are. The August socks, I started July 29th and finished them August 11th. September, started September 7th, finished September 19th. October, I started October 5th and finished them November 1st. This was the first one in the whole series that I did not finish in its actual month until I got to December. But before that, I had them all done in the respective months. And then the final one in the near complete set are my November 2 at a time toe-up sort of shorty socks. And these I started November 3rd, finished November 22nd. And unfortunately the December ones I did not finish in December, and I did not finish them in 2023. So they have been moved in. They will come in my 2024 collection. I really had hoped I would get them done in December, but I just didn't quite make it. So I don't feel quite right including them in the December or 2023 collection. The next ones I want to go through are some of my Advent type socks, and then I'll finish off looking at all of my Sock Madness collection. So let's get these guys all. Oh nuts, I'm missing one pair. Nah. So the first pair of non-Advent 12-day Advent calendar socks I did a pair of socks, and I don't have them right in front of me. I don't know where they are. And that's annoying me. Anyway, these are my Advent leftover sort of shorty toe-up socks. I'll have a picture here. You might remember me working on these last year. I started them December 7th, 2022, and I finished them on February 7th, 2023. This yarn I bought an Advent, a 24-day Advent calendar, 25-day Advent calendar from Orlando Fiber Arts. She bought 2 Advent calendars from her in 2022. One was the full 24-day mini skein Advent with the full skein on the 25th of December, and the other was the 12-day 50-gram skeins. So with the first one, the 24-day calendar, I made the anthology throw by Helen Stewart, and I had a little bit left over from each of those. So what I did was I put them together, and each day I added a stripe to a pair of scrappy sort of shorty socks. And so again, I'll have the picture over beside me here. I don't know where they are. I can't think of where I would have stashed them. as I look around this messy room and wonder why I can't find something. Anyway, so I did them 2 at a time, toe up. I used the toes, the heel flap and heel turn, and a little pop of color done in a bare yarn, as I've done with a lot of my socks. And each day, I didn't start until I'd got a few days done on the anthology throw. And then what I did was I took each little bit of yarn that was left over, and I started from opposite ends and then just knit a few rounds, however much I could go. Some of them were a little bit longer, a little bit more left over. Some of them were only a few rounds. But either which way, I used up the entirety of that advent calendar. And I love these socks, look so cool. But I don't know where they are now. I thought I had everybody out and ready. I did not. So let's look at what other, there's a couple other that fit into those kind of categories I want to show you. Another pair I made during the summertime. I think I started these, when did I start them? These I started June 28th and finished on the 12th of July. And these are I did 2 at a time, toe up, sort of shorty socks, and I used a single skein of Knit Picks Felici. And I did the toes, the heel, and a pop of color in Knit Picks Stroll in a black yarn. And you can see from the picture that they don't look exactly the same. And what I did with the skein of yarn is that I took it from the ball into a cake, and then I knit them 2 at a time from opposite ends. So the color sequence goes in opposite directions from one sock to the other sock. So you see that ambulance coming. We're trying to get through a light. Maybe the police pulled someone over. Anywho, so they were done in the stripes go in opposite directions. So they're a pair, they look like they belong together, but they're not quite exactly the same. And I think that's kind of fun. Then I did another pair I did while traveling in the summer. Last year when I went to visit my mom, I didn't take enough yarn with me, and I ran out and had to get my sister to take me emergency yarn shopping, and we ended up with a skein of Patton's Croy. We got it at Michael's or Joanne's? Michael's, I think it was. So I didn't want to take that chance, so I took enough yarn for 3 pair of socks when I went out this summer. So these are a pair of socks, and again I'll have the picture over beside me. I started these July 18th, so again this was when I was out at my mom's, and finished them on the 29th of July. This yarn is from Hue Loco, and the colorway is Heat Wave. It's Hue Loco Merino sock, and again the colorway is Heat Wave. So this was another pair of socks that I did for travel knitting. And again, it's the same style as all of my toe up 2 at a time sort of shorty socks are. You may have noticed I kind of like that style of socks. Then I was able to get an old skein of yarn from Freckled Whimsy with her Advent 2022 colorway. And with that, because it was a 100-gram skein of yarn, I was able to knit 2 complete sort of shorty pair of socks. And what I did, so for the first pair, so again this is Advent 2022, and the yarn is from Freckled Whimsy, and the colorway is, this is Serendipity, and the colorway is Sweet Shop. I started these on August 12th, finished them on August 22nd. So what I did with these is I started at one color and I knit until I had the full 24 colors done, and then I switched over and did a couple rounds of in bare yarn, just with that pop of color to finish it. Then once I was done with that, I rolled up the yarn into a ball, each of the, because it was in two matching cakes. So I took each of those leftovers and I rolled them into a ball where what was the first color on the first pair of socks now would be the last color on the second pair of socks. So I was able to get a full second pair of socks out of the same skein of yarn. So this is from, again, Freckled Whimsy, and these are the Advent 2022 socks, or the colorway. Again, Freckled Whimsy, Serendipity in the colorway Sweet Shop. I started these August 24th, finished September 7th. And the main difference between them, again, is just that the colorway is completely reversed. So they look different. The colorway is in the complete opposite direction. And I think that's really, I think it's really cool that I can get two pair of socks out of one of these. And the plan is to do the same with the 2023 Advent one. I've finished one pair, I still have to do the second pair. And when both of those, there's going to be just a little teeny little ball of yarn left over. And what I think I'll do is I'm going to keep a few of those until I have enough to make a whole new pair of socks that incorporate 3 or 4 years worth of the Advent leftovers. So another pair I made this year were scrappy toe up sort of shorty socks, and these are all yarns that I dyed myself, and they were all just scraps. I'm not sure if you can see in that glass cookie jar behind there are a bunch of my scraps. So these are kind of rainbow-ish. It's not a proper, yeah, it's not a proper combination for rainbow, but it's rainbow-ish. These I started on November 2nd, finished on November 14th. These are kind of addictive to do. I just wanted to get to the next color and see how that fit. So again, these were just all scraps of yarn that I had dyed myself over the years. And then the final pair of socks that I finished this year, and then I'll backtrack and look at some other ones that I also did this year. These are my Freckled Whimsy Advent calendar, or Advent striping skein from 2023. So this is the Advent 2023 socks. This is the first pair. I will be getting a second pair out of this skein. I just haven't started it yet. These took me quite a bit longer to do because I was working on a lot of other Advent things at the same time, and I didn't spend as many hours each day working on these. So I started these December 1st, finished them on, no, that's not why I was slow. Oh my gosh. These took longer to do because I did one stripe a day. Oh my gosh, sorry. They took longer because I did one stripe a day until I got to the end, and then I got impatient and I did the last couple stripes in one day. So these took me from December 1st to the 23rd of December. And I still have the second pair that I will be doing in the near future. So again, that was Freckled Whimsy. That was on the Splendid base, and the colorway is Hearth and Home. Now another few socks that I made, and these are ones that I realize these drive some people a little bit crazy. They don't quite like these. I made several pair of Mismatched sort of shorty socks. So it's several 20-gram skeins of yarn. I still do have lots of, just trying to look at which one it is I want to, yeah, this one first. There were, I have a bunch of 20-gram skeins of yarn, and I wanted to see how those would work doing two up, or two at a time toe up sort of shorty socks using two different colorways. I'll have a picture of this pair over on the side. These I started July 30th, finished August 7th, and they're a little bit shorter than my typical two at a time toe up. These are both yarns from Moonstone Dye Works. So there's this tannish peachy pink color and this bluish color. So that was the first sort of pair of mismatched socks I made. Then I made a second pair, and again these I started August 22nd, finished September 4th. Again, these were, I bought a set of 5 20-gram skeins of yarn from Moonstone Dye Works, and so this is colors 3 and 4 of that, the yarn from Moonstone Dye Works. And then I had one more pair of mismatched socks, and these, the cuffs are quite different on the two of them. The beige, or the darker one, that was the 5th skein from Moonstone Dye Works, and the second one that has the quite a bit longer leg on it is from Scrap Happy Yarns, and I had bought a mystery bundle from her a little while back and made one sock so far. I still have several more, I think 4 more skeins of hers. These I started September 20th, finished October 4th. I can't remember if I said that already. And then the last things I did knitting wise this year, those are all the basic vanilla type socks that I did. Itchy. I'm stirring up dust and fluff and candle scent. Just sipping some cold or some herbal tea. So the rest of the socks, 2 of them are from the Super Sock World Championship, and the rest are from Sock Madness. So the Sock Madness socks, the first pair, and again I'll just put a picture up because these ones are harder to show as is. So the first pair were Sock Madness 17. It was from the first warm-up round, and that I cast those on January 18th, finished them January 31st. This one was just kind of for fun and just open to people to just knit. You didn't have to follow the specific instructions to the T. You were able to modify a little bit, so I modified mine to make them a little bit shorter. But these socks, the name of the pattern is Instant Crush, and it is a pattern by Anna Zhuravleva. The yarn I'm using for this was some of my own hand-dyed yarn that I had been playing around with and made. So that was Instant Crush, and that was the Sock Madness warm-up pattern for Sock Madness 17 was the one from last year. Wow. The first round, or the qualifying round I should say, so Sock Madness qualifying round is light. I forgot to check the pronunciation on that. I butchered that pronunciation, I'm sure. And these ones were an adventure to knit. There is a pattern by Annette Schleicher, and this I used the toes and the girl were done in Treviso sock wool, just some random yarn I had kicking around at home. The gray, the background color is Valley Yarns Huntington in light gray heather, and then all the balloons are in just scraps, all kinds of leftovers. So those were interesting. It used intarsia, multiple colors. There was about 673,000 ends to weave in. And that's not a huge exaggeration. There was a lot of ends to weave in, but they look really cool. The next pair was, so with the qualifying round I qualified for Sock Madness, and the next pair, or the first round pair, was a design called, the name of the pattern was Valgus, or Valgus, V-A-L-G-U-S. Again, I'll have a picture onto the side. Started these March 4th, finished them March 8th. The pattern is by Jennifer Roshinsky. This I used 2 of my own hand-dyed yarns. So both of them were yarns I dyed myself. These do not fit me at all. I will be looking to give these away to someone. Between the cables, oops, and one of them's just landed on the floor. Between the cables, they don't fit. But that's okay, I will give them away to somebody. The second round for Sock Madness, so Sock Madness 17 round 2, were the Celtic Rain socks. And this is by Cynthia Huetner. And this was another yarn that I dyed myself. And you can see from the picture that there's a lot more dye adhered to one end of the yarn versus the other end of the yarn. So it is from the same skein, but the yarn had a lot more color on one end than the other end. Can't remember if I said I started them March 18th, finished them March 28th. The next pair, and those ones had beads in them. Not sure if you can, yeah, you can sort of see the little, these were really, I really enjoyed these. I enjoy cables, and the lace, or the little bit of with the beads was fun. That was nice. These were the Sock Madness 17 round 3 socks, and these were called Socks of Little Brain, and it paid an homage to Winnie the Pooh. So there's little beads with little bees, and there's honeycombs on it. The little red sweater. You can't quite tell. Let me see if I can see this better. Like, it has a little opening at the top, so it's like a little sweater, the little red sweater that Winnie the Pooh wears, or orange red sweater he wears. So those were the round 3. Was that it? Yeah, round 3 Sock Madness 17. These I cast them on August 3rd. No, April 3rd, and finished them April 12th. And this was a pattern by Anne Rutgrink. The name of the pattern is Socks of Little Brain. I used Valley Yarns Huntington for this. The red was number 32 Sunset was the colorway name, and the body of the socks was in light gray heather. So it was the same colorway that I used in the one with all the balloons. And the last pair of socks for me in Sock Madness 17, these were the round 4 socks. This pair I was eliminated in this round. And this pattern was called Squaring Off, and it's a pattern by Shu Yi Wu. And I used, this is my own hand-dyed yarn. All 3 colors, the light pink, dark pink, and no, those weren't all mine. 2 of them, the 2 pinky colors, the light pink and the dark pink, were Valley Yarns Huntington. The lighter, one of the colors was blush and the other color was mauve, or mauve, however you pronounce it. The dark color is one of my hand dyed, the dark color was one I dyed myself. These I cast on April 18th and I finished them on May 4th. And at that point I was out of the competition. I didn't finish them fast enough to make it to the next round. So those are my Sock Madness, all of my Sock Madness socks. And then in the summertime, or earlier in the summer, I participated a little bit with the Super Sock World Championship competition. And I knit the qualifying round pair of socks. The picture still has the stitch markers on to indicate that we did the correct number of rows or rounds. So this is the qualifying round for Super Sock World Championship for 2023. And this pattern is called Zinja by Birgit Freyer. And I used 2 skeins of Valley Yarns Huntington in red, purple, and mustard are the 2 colors. And I did them fraternal. I reversed the color from one to the other. And I like it. So those were the first pair from Super Sock World Championship. And then the only round that I actually participated in during Super Sock World Championship, and this pattern is called Repeat After Me, and this was lap 1, and I think it was this the low octane one? I think this was the easier. I don't have that marked down here. Anyway, I cast these on June 16th, finished them June 27th. And the pattern is called Repeat After Me, and it's by Stitchy Design. And for this I used, again, Huntington, or Valley Yarns Huntington, and the colors are Arctic and blue. So the lighter color is Arctic, the darker color is blue. So those are all the socks I finished knitting in 2023. Did you keep count? 29 pair of socks. That just, when I counted them, I was like, holy smokes. That blew my little mind. I did not realize I had made 29 pair of socks this past year. So my goal of doing, for my box of socks for 2024, my goal of doing between 24 and 36 pair of socks is quite reasonable. Because Yeah, it's reasonable. I might actually hit that goal again next year. That's a crazy number of socks. It really is. It's wow. That's all I can say. Wow. So those are all my socks from 2020 that I finished knitting in 2023. I wished I had been able to finish my my December socks in 2023. That's my, if I can call it that. That's my only regret from 2023 is that I didn't finish December socks in December. Oh well, not the end of the world. So for 2024, I have all of my Opal yarn to all those little 20 gram minis to work through. So those are going to end up making me 12 pair of mismatched socks. I apologize to those people that are driven crazy. that drives crazy. I'm sorry, but I like it. I still have more 20 gram minis that I might make more mismatched socks with. Not sure. I have several skeins of Christmas yarns that I bought in the last couple months that need to be turned into socks to go into my Christmas box of socks. And I have more that I want to, I've got yeah. I will be participating in Sock Madness again this year. Registration will open the 1st of Registration will open the 1st of February. And I think it's open from the 1st to the 14th or so. I'll talk more about that next episode on the channel or on my regular post. And what else? That's it. 29 pair of socks. Yay. So it was a good year for sock knitting for Karen. And there are some of I am going to do some fitting tests on the different Sock Madness ones, see which ones fit me properly and that I want to wear, and what does not fit me or what I will not wear. I am going to pack up a bunch to take to the ladies at our church and see who would like some of them. And then I'm going to go through all of my go through my sock drawers. And I should take you on a tour of my sock drawers with the rest of my socks. Maybe not talk quite as long as I am today about them. All bets are off. But just kind of give you a look through all of those and show you the ones that I'm going to give away, and kind of pare that down so that I'm just keeping the socks that I truly do love, because I have so many. Like I say, I've got 29 new pair just this year, and I have not worn a single pair of them yet. Now that I've filmed this, watch out, they're going on my big feet. I cannot wait to start wearing them. Although I do need to get a family portrait of all of my January to December sort of shorty socks, my 12 days socks. I want to get a picture of them all together. Ugh, what a dreary rainy day out there today. Blech. This would have been a lot of snow if it had been colder. But it's rain. Hopefully it stays warm enough it does not turn into ice. Alrighty, I'm gonna shut up now. This took longer. No, I figured it would be at least a half an hour. Who am I kidding? Anyway, so if you've stuck around this long, hey, good job. I should have warned you ahead of time to grab yourself a drink, coffee, tea, whatever, and buckle in, because I'm going to be here for a while. So, anywho, thank you so much for joining me on my sock tour for all of my 2023 socks. I'll be curious to see if anyone guessed 29 pair of socks, or if you counted what was on the thumbnail, if you were able to count what was on the thumbnail. Anywho, I said I shut up a while ago, didn't I? Anyway, thank you so much for joining me today. Here's a little bonus episode, and I will see you again soon. Bye.